The mystery and the study of the unknown has always fascinated the people. The search for the truth in the incomprehensible has led to many controversies.
Some believe in the supernatural, while others simply do not. Both types of people have their own reasonings for believing or disbelieving it.
There are numerous world-famous mysteries that are still controversial and remain unsolved to this day. The unanswered questions are still in the midst of argument. Yesterday,
Today,
tomorrow.
the essence of magical phenomenon can answer the question of yesteryears.
Truth will be revealed. Answered will be laid in this battlefield.
The uncertain shall be settled once and for all. Questions of the world, here they befall. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Pia Monica Bengzon Garales took a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English in the Philippine Normal University. The Blue Sky Poet.
To be a champ, you have to believe in yourself when nobody else will. Sainik Hasmin Tenedero graduated his Bachelor's of Arts in Literature and Language Teaching in the University of Eastern Philippines. The journalist.
Number 1. The correct answer is B, Jason. So guys, Jason is an ancient Greek mythological hero who is the leader of the Argonauts, whose quest for the Golden Fleece is featured in Greek literature. He is the son of Aeson, the rightful king of Lolkos. He is married to the sorceress named Medea. While Ulysses, the Latin equivalent of Greek Odysseus, is the king of Ithaca, a Greek island. He is married to Penelope and they have a son named Telemachus. He is one of the Greek leaders in the Trojan War. While Paris, also known as Alexander, the son of King Priam and Queen Hecuba of Troy, appears in a number of Greek legends. Probably the best known is his elopement with Helen, Queen of Sparta, this being one of the immediate causes of the Trojan War. And lastly, Achilles is a Greek hero of the Trojan War and the central character and the greatest warrior of Homer's Iliad. Number 2. The correct answer is A, Hera. So Hera is the wife of Zeus and known as the goddess of marriage, while Athena is known as the goddess of wisdom, Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty, and Artemis is the goddess of the moon. Next. Number 3. The correct answer is D, underworld. So we have heaven, hell, and purgatory, but the places mentioned above are found in the underworld from the book made by Edith Hamilton about Greek mythology. Number 4. The correct answer is A, women's empowerment. So the very reason of the Trojan War is Helen of Troy, for she is considered as the face that launched 1,000 ships. If we see it today, the closest answer would be women's empowerment. Over the years, we have seen how much society has given importance to men. This, on the other hand, has been the opposite. Number 5. The correct answer is D, James Joyce. So Ulysses is a novel by the Irish author named James Joyce, first serialized in parts in the American journal The Little Review from March 1918 to December 1920, then published in its entirety by Sylvia Beach on February 2, 1922 in Paris. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 6, the correct answer is letter B. Help the class see the relationship of the characters to each other. The teacher has to consider the nature of the activity that is asked of the class. A genealogy certainly will help the students relate the characters to each other, because a genealogy is the study and tracing of lines of descent or development. Number 7, the correct answer is letter A. Build the student's schema. The activity aims to tap what students bring to the classroom in terms of their prior knowledge and schema. The topic is quite general that the students can contribute what they know from previous stories read or listen to other movies they have seen. The students need to read the text to be able to do the activity. The other options are evidently not the purpose of the activity. Number 8, the correct answer is letter C, literary competence. Obviously, the lesson aims to develop the student's literary competence. Part of learning to read, interpret, and analyze literature is to have literary competence. Students must possess certain knowledge about literary terms and concepts to fully understand what they read in literature. Number 9, the correct answer is self-fulfilling prophecy. Letters A, B, and D are not considered plot devices, while letter C, self-fulfilling prophecy, is. This concept is manifested in the life of the main character Oedipus in the drama Paid by Sophocles. The former tried to fight his own fate, but in the end, all the prophecies that the oracle told him came true. He killed his father and even slept with his mother. Number 10, the correct answer is letter B, Annabel Lee. Invictus is by William Ernest Henley. Because I Could Not Stop for Death is by Emily Dickinson. Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening is by Robert Frost. Annabel Lee is by Edgar Allan Poe. The only literary piece in the choices by Edgar Allan Poe is Annabel Lee, which tackles the death of a beautiful woman. The Mask of the Red Death, The Raven, and The Telltale Heart are some of his other works.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 11. The correct answer is D, The Poor Christ of Bombay by Mongo Betty. The Poor Christ of Bombay is a satire on the Catholic mission of the white men in Africa. The novel exposes the moral, spiritual, religious, as well as the economic hypocrisy of the white men, foregrounding that it is only a cunning way into the path of extinction of the black race. Number 12. The correct answer is D, Initial conflict. Climax refers to the highest point in the story. So in the small key incident, it is when the wife burnt the things of her husband's ex-wife. While denouement is the resolution. Definitely not this one. Then crisis is an emergency such as a car crash or an illness, and conflict is a clash of wills, a difficult moral choice, or an internal mental struggle. Therefore, D is the answer because in the story, the wife was struggling to hide her jealousy upon seeing the key of the truck where the things of his ex-wife were placed, inside the pocket of his husband. Number 13. The correct answer is C, Annabel Lee. Annabel Lee is the last complete poem composed by the American author Edgar Allan Poe. Like many of Poe's poems, it explores the theme of the death of a beautiful woman. The narrator, who fell in love with Annabel Lee when they were young, has a love for her so strong that even angels are envious. He retains his love for her even after her death. There has been a debate over who, if anyone, was the inspiration for Annabel Lee. Though many women have been suggested, Poe's wife, Virginia Eliza Clem Poe, is one of the more credible candidates. Number 14. The correct answer is A, Ben Jonson. Song to Celia is a piece made by Ben Jonson. Number 15. The correct answer is D, William Makepeace Thackeray. Vanity Fair refers to a stop along the Pilgrim's Progress, a never-ending fair held in a town to represent man's sinful attachment to worldly things. It was written by William Makepeace Thackeray and was first published in 1847. Here's a trivia. Are you aware
Number 16, the correct answer is letter D, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Samuel Langhorne Clemens is well known by his pen name Mark Twain. He is noted for his novel Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, 1884. Uncle Tom's Cabin, or Life Among the Lowly, is a novel by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Animal Farm is a novel by Eric Blair, commonly known as George Orwell. Scarlet Letter is a novel by Natalia Hawthorne, also known as Ashley A. Royce. Number 17, the correct answer is letter B, Atmosphere. Edgar Allan Poe writes stories that are primarily stories of atmosphere. Number 18, the correct answer is letter C, Characters. His stories have outstanding and unforgettable characters who are mostly women. Number 19, the correct answer is letter B, The Japanese Occupation. The title of Stevens Haveliane's only novel in English, Without Seeing the Dawn, was derived from one of Jose Rizal's character in the Spanish language novel No Le Me Tangere or Touch Me Not. Haveliane's 368-page book has two parts, namely Day and Night. The first part, Day, narrates the story of pre-war Barrio and its people in the Panay Island, particularly in Iloilo. The second part, Night, begins with the start of World War II in both the US and the Philippines, and retells the story of the resistance movement against the occupying Japanese military forces of the Barrio people first seen in the Day. It narrates the people's grim experiences during the war. Number 20, the correct answer is letter A, The Stream of Consciousness. Stream of consciousness is a literary style in which a character's thoughts, feelings, and reactions are depicted in a continuous flow uninterrupted by objective description or conventional dialogue. James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, and Marcel Proust are among its notable early exponents.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 21, the correct answer is A, The Use of Surprise Endings. William Sidney Porter, known by his pen name O. Henry, was an American short story writer. His stories are known really for their surprise endings. Number 22, the correct answer is A, Show, Don't Tell. It is evident that Chekhov wants the writers not to explicitly tell what the person feels or thinks of, but to make it manifested in the character's actions. Number 23, B, Foreshadowing. Exposition is the introduction of characters and setting, while plant is not really an element of plot. Suspense is also not an element of plot, but the line suggests suspense, which is a feeling or state of nervousness or excitement caused by wondering what will happen. Foreshadowing now is an advanced sign or warning of what is to come in the future. Number 24. The correct answer is C, Egypt. Two notable examples from Egypt at that time are the Predestined Prince and Sinuhe. Number 25. The correct answer is A, Love never wanes even in old age. So the third and the fourth line in the verse show that love doesn't wane or change till the edge of doom or till the end. So the closest one is here, letter A. Here's the trivia. Are you aware?
Number 26, the correct answer is letter A, monomyth. Campbell explores the theory that important myths from around the world from antiquity all share a fundamental structure, which he called monomyth. He outlined the adventure of a hero, departure, initiation, and return. Number 27, the correct answer is letter B, Choka. Kujiki is a volume about Japanese mythological beginning. Tanka, short poem with 31 syllables long. Haiku, 3 lines and 17 syllables. Kakinomoto no Hitamaro, the author is famed for his long poems Chuka, such as In the Sea of Ivy Cloth Iwami, The Bay of Chuno, and I Will Love Her Like the Leaves. 19 of his choka were included in Mayunshu, and 75 or so tanka short poems were likewise selected. Number 28. The correct answer is letter A, Love. It can be seen starting from the title of the story that the poem mostly talks about love. The love that the persona feels for his wife who he misses. Number 29, the correct answer is letter A, Longing. The persona is longing for his wife who died. This is very evident in the last 2 lines. I grieve, and know the remedy. I ache and know no road where I might meet her. Number 30, the correct answer is letter C, Metrical Tale. Lyric refers to mood, emotions, and reflection in musical language. Ballad is a story of ordinary people. Metrical tale is an ordinary story told in verse. Metrical romance is a medieval verse based on legends, chivalric love, and supernatural.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 31. The correct answer is B, Chamber Theater. Chamber theater is a theatrical approach to performing narrative literature. Number 32. The correct answer is B, because of the tyrant leaders. The reason behind the Declaration of Independence is because of the abuses which led the colonists to overthrow a tyrannical government. Number 33. The correct answer is C, Cliffhanger. Foil here is a character that shows qualities that are in contrast with the qualities of another character, with the objective to highlight the traits of the other character. Example of that is Jacob and Edward. Next is anti-hero. It is the antagonist, while archetype is the character that usually symbolizes a cliché character. And lastly, a cliffhanger or cliffhanger ending is a plot device in fiction which features a main character in a precarious or difficult dilemma, or confronted with a shocking revelation at the end of an episode of serialized fiction. Number 34. The correct answer is B, Flash Forward. Flash forward is also known as prolepsis. It gives the readers a sudden, clear-eyed glimpse into the future. Number 35. The correct answer is B, Omniscient. Omniscient is a point of view which knows everything, even the thoughts and feelings of the character. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 36, the correct answer is letter B, Prompter. Prompter, a person seated out of sight of the audience who supplies a forgotten word or the line to an actor during the performance of a play. Number 37, D, Inadequate Perception. Certainly, perception will suit a narrator's age and experience, which are naturally limited in a child. A, B, and C do not constitute a limitation. They actually help enhance characterization. Number 38. The correct answer is letter A, Aesop's Fables. This is a collection of tales from Greek storyteller Aesop. Aesop was a slave in ancient Greece. He was a keen observer of both animals and people. Most of the characters in his stories are animals, some of which take in a human characteristic and are personified in ways of speech and emotions. However, the majority of his characters retain their animalistic qualities. Tortoises are slow, hares are quick, tigers eat bird, etc. Aesop uses these qualities and natural tendencies of animals to focus on human traits and wisdom. Each fable has an accompanying moral to be learned from the tale. Number 39, the correct answer is letter A, Song to Celia. The following lines are taken from the poem Song to Celia by Ben Jonson, specifically the first verse. Number 40, the correct answer is letter D, Foil. Antagonist is someone who actively opposes the protagonist or the main character. Villain is the same as those who actively opposes to the protagonist. Support is the character who supports the main characters in her journey.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 41. The correct answer is A, after it has been discussed. The students can only decide whether or not the poem is good after the teacher has discussed the poem, because by then they already have a clear grasp of what it means. Number 42. The correct answer is A, or plot. The plot refers to the architecture of the story with the beginning, middle, and end. While diction refers to the choice of words, style is an individual imprint of the author on the work, and then theme is a general statement about life. Number 43, the correct answer is D, epistrophe. So anaphora here refers to words being repeated at the beginning of successive clauses or sentences. Example of that is, I saw a star in the sky. I saw a lightning spread its power. I saw you in the dark. The next one is alliteration. It refers to the occurrence of the same sound, usually a consonant sound, in the beginning of words that are close to each other. Example of that is the famous line, seashells by the seashore. The next one is epigraph. It refers to an engraved inscription on a building or statue, or a quotation at the beginning of a piece of writing. Example of that is, vengeance is mine, I will repay, from Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 35, from Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Then lastly is epistrophe, also called as epiphora. Mind that, it refers to words being repeated at the end of successive clauses or sentences. It is the opposite of anaphora. Example of that is, I see defeat, but I see hope in defeat. With courage, I know I can surpass defeat. In the line above, the word people is repeated, which is placed at the end of successive phrases. Therefore, D, epistrophe is the answer. Number 44, C, tautology. Tautology is a phrase or expression in which the same thing is said twice in different words. Usually, this is used to emphasize a certain point, and sometimes it is regarded as needless repetition. On the other hand, parallelism is the use of components in a sentence that are grammatically the same, or similar in their construction, sound, meaning, or meter. The next one is paradox. It is a seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition that when investigated or explained may prove to be well-founded or true. And lastly, tautophony is a repetition of the same sound. Number 45. The correct answer is D, symbolism. Symbolism means using symbols or indirect suggestions to represent the idea of winner, which means an obstacle or challenge for the grasshopper to see and must be prepared of. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 46, the correct answer is letter C, movement. The elements of drama are plot, characters, setting, dialogue, movement, music, and theme, while farce and tragedy belong to the types of drama. Number 47, the correct answer is letter A, apostrophe. Apostrophe is a term used when a speaker directly addresses someone or something that is not present in the poem. Number 48, the correct answer is letter D, a poem consisting of 17 syllables with nature as a topic. A. Tanka, B. Elegy, C. Sonnet. Number 49, the correct answer is letter D, letter. Epistolary is a type of literary piece made through an exchange of letters. Number 50, the correct answer is letter C, 1, 2, and 3. Sequence. Poem pattern incorporates the title, the synonym of the title, and the antonym of the title.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 51. The correct answer is C, farce. Simile here means it is a figure of speech used for comparing two things using as or like, while sequel is something that happens after and usually a result of a previous event, while fable is a story about animals, and farce is a far-fetched humorous situation. Example of that is William Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors. Number 52, the correct answer is A, epiphora. Gradation is a scale or successive changes, stages or degrees, while polyptoton is a rhetorical repletion of the same root word, and symplose is a combination of anaphora and epistrophe. Number 53, the correct answer is B, metaphor. Hyperbole are exaggerated statements or claims not to be taken literally, while simile is a figure of speech that directly compares two things. Although similes and metaphors are similar, similes explicitly use connecting words such as like, as, so, than, or various verbs such as resemble. While paradox is a seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition that when investigated or explained may prove to be well-founded or true. And lastly, metaphor is a figure of speech containing an implied comparison in which a word or phrase ordinarily and primarily used of one thing is applied to another. For example, the curtain of night or all the world's a stage. Number 54. The correct answer is D. Putting up with them is really a hard job to do. The correct answer is D because putting up was used as a subject or a gerund noun in the sentence instead of functioning as a phrasal verb. Number 55. The correct answer is D, structuralist. The correct answer is D because it is concerned with language systems and identifiable data. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 56, the correct answer is letter C, wa. G, voice velar. Ha, voice glottal. Wa, voice glides. Her, voice liquid. Number 57, the correct answer is letter C, relationships of sounds and letters. Phonics is a branch of linguistics concerned with spoken sounds, the correlations between sounds and symbols. Number 58, the correct answer is letter C, metacognition. There are only two broad classifications of listening strategy, and these are the cognitive and metacognitive strategies. The rest of the options are not listening strategies. Number 59, the correct answer is letter A, contraction. Contraction is the process of shortening words. The sentence, "that is a lot," became "that's a lot." Number 60, the correct answer is letter C, interactive. Extensive, monologues and oral reports. Interactive, face-to-face interaction and problem-solving tasks. Responsive, a question and answer tasks. Intensive, read aloud, sentence dialogue, and completion tasks.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 61, the correct answer is A, extensive. Extensive tasks compose of monologues and oral reports, while interactive ones compose face-to-face interaction in problem-solving tasks. Responsive tasks, on the other hand, are question and answer tasks. And lastly, imitative is when students parrot back words that they hear from their teacher. Number 62, C, portfolios. Portfolio is a collection of the sample of the works of the students compiled to monitor the progress of the students. Number 63. The correct answer is D, being willing to suspend judgment until sufficient evidence is presented. Critical thinking deals with objective analysis in order to form judgment. Number 64. The correct answer is B, stress. Stress is to give particular emphasis or importance to a point, statement, or idea made in speech or writing, like I'm doing right now. Then pitch is the highness and lowness of the voice. Juncture is the pause or stops. And lastly, diphthong is a sound formed by the combination of two vowels in a single syllable, in which the sound begins as one vowel and moves toward another. Like coin, loud, and side. Number 65, the correct answer is D, tools. Questionnaires and checklists can be used in many situations, not just in research, but also in others, like tests, as tools or instruments to gather data. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 66, the correct answer is letter D, frequency distribution. Histogram is an accurate graphical representation of the distribution of numerical data to show the frequency distribution. Number 67, the correct answer is letter D, target analysis. In English for specific purposes, or ESP, there are three analyses: target situation analysis, present situation analysis, and pedagogic needs analysis. Number 68, the correct answer is letter D, test. Test is the most objective and standardized among the following choices, while options A, C, and D are alternative assessments and prone to bias but can be remedied by using rubrics. 69, the correct answer is letter B, wooden. Wooden headline is a very weak headline that is devoid of meaning, sometimes due to the absence of subject or lack of verb. Example, to hold exhaustion. Since headlines are supposed to give an overview of what a particular story will be, the absence of subject or lack of verb in headlines, like in wooden ones, will only confuse the readers. Number 70. The correct answer is letter A, banner headline. Banner headline is a large headline in a newspaper that stretches across the front page, usually just below the nameplate or name of the newspaper.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 71. The correct answer is C, that it can be published anytime. So evergreen in journalism means it is interesting and remains fresh always to the readers. An evergreen article doesn't lose relevance over time, endures despite fads and trends, and always appears fresh to the readers. In fact, evergreen blogs or posts, articles have the potential to get more popular over time. Number 72, the correct answer is C, semantics. So semantics is the branch of linguistics that is concerned with meaning. Phonetics is the study of sounds, while morphology is the study of word formation, and syntax is the study of sentence formation. Number 73, the correct answer is D, remedial. Remedial instruction is designed to bring students who are lagging behind up to the level of achievements by other students. Number 74, the correct answer is D, where. The pronoun none, if used without the off phrase, follows a singular verb, but if it has an off phrase, it will depend on the noun or word before the verb. The word none is versatile. It has a plural sense as well as singular sense. When none is followed by off, look at the noun in your off phrase or object of the preposition. If the object of the preposition is singular, use a singular verb. While if the object of the preposition is plural, there is more leeway. Most of the time, but not always, you will want to use a plural verb. Number 75, the correct answer is D, performance, written and quarterly. In the K-12 curriculum, the performance output, written output, and quarterly assessment are the basis of grading. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 76, the correct answer is letter C, 30, K-12 language curriculum. Number 77, the correct answer is letter A, 20, K-12 language curriculum. Number 78, the correct answer is letter D. It is a second or third language. English is said to be the second or third language of the Filipinos. Hence, it is difficult to understand because Filipinos have varied dative languages. Number 79, the correct answer is letter C, scaffolding. Scaffolding is a process through which a teacher adds support for students in order to enhance learning and aid the mastery of the task. Number 80, the correct answer is letter C, speakers with receptive language ability. Receptive language is the understanding of language or input. This includes the understanding of both words and gestures. It goes beyond just vocabulary skills, but also the ability to interpret a question as a question. The understanding of concepts like on or accurately interpreting complex grammatical forms. Example, understanding the phrase, "The boy was kicked by the girl," means that the girl did the kicking. Expressive language is most simply the output of the language, how one expresses his or her wants and needs. This includes not only words but also the grammar rules that dictate how words are combined into phrases, sentences, and paragraphs, as well as the use of gestures and facial expressions.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 81, the correct answer is C, sweet. Unlike action verbs, linking verbs show a relationship between the subject of the sentence and a noun or adjective being linked by it. The most common linking verbs are the be forms, such as is, are, am, was, were. Other common linking verbs include appear, become, feel, grow, look, smell, remain, seem, stay, taste, and turn. The rule here says that if these words act as an action verb, usually it is followed by an adverb, whereas if these words are used as linking verbs in a sentence, it is followed by an adjective. In the sentence above, the word smells is used as a linking verb and therefore follows an adjective it links. Number 82. The correct answer is D, content-based instruction. Content-based instruction is the result of the cognitive evolution in language teaching. The focus of a CBI lesson is on the topic or subject matter. During the lesson, students are focused on learning about something. This could be anything that interests them, from a serious science subject to their favorite pop star, or even a topical news or typical news or film. They learn about this subject using the language they are trying to learn, rather than their native language, as a tool for developing knowledge, and so they develop their linguistic ability in the target language. Number 83. The correct answer is C, working. Number 84. The correct answer is A, altogether. Altogether means along with each other, while altogether is completely. Number 85. The correct answer is D, general queries on animal protection. Since it is about the lesson on animal protection and situations that endanger the species, it is only right that the teacher asks general queries on animal protection. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 86, the correct answer is letter B, learning outcome. Another term for learning outcome is learning objective. The objective should always be aligned to assessment, for its objective is the basis of whether or not something has been achieved by the students. Number 87, the correct answer is letter D, survey reading. Purpose: to get a broad, overall picture of essentials in an article, a chapter, or a book. How do you do it? First, read the title. Second, read the first paragraph. Third, read all headings, italicized words, graphs, and tables. Fourth, read the last paragraph. And last, read the summary. Number 88, the correct answer is letter B, moral. Morale: moral principles, teachings, or conduct. Morally, an adverb with reference to the principles of right and wrong behavior. Example, the belief the war was morally justified. Mores: the essential or characteristic customs and conventions of a community. Moral: a lesson, especially one concerning what is right or prudent, that can be derived from a story, a piece of information, or an experience. Number 89, the correct answer is letter C, support. The role of the supporting sentences is to support the topic sentences so that it will not go away from the topic. Number 90, the correct answer is letter D, schema. A schema or scam is an abstract concept proposed by Jean Piaget to refer our abstract concepts. Schemas or schemata are units of understanding that can be hierarchically categorized as well as webbed into complex relationships with one another. For students, their schemas pretty much amount to what they already know about the concept. They may have learned it in other classes or through their own experiences. What they know may be incorrect. Our job is to either expand or correct their schemas about important concepts in our fields.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 91, the correct answer is A, vocabulary development. Vocabulary development does not belong to domains of senior high, but only in the primary and secondary. Number 92, The correct answer is B, linguistic. Linguistic competence is described as the ability to recognize the elements of the writing system, knowledge of vocabulary, and knowledge of how words are structured into sentences. While social linguistic competence refers to the ability to use the language that is appropriate to social contexts. Next is strategic competence. It refers to a speaker's ability to adapt their use of verbal and nonverbal language to compensate for communication problems caused by the speaker's lack of understanding of proper grammar use and/or insufficient knowledge of social, behavioral, and communication norms. And lastly, discourse competence is defined as the ability to understand and produce the range of spoken, written, and visual texts that are characteristics of a language. These texts are to be well-formed and clear. Number 93. The correct answer is A, superlative. Superlative is the highest degree of adjective, usually marked with the use of the word most. Number 94. The correct answer is A, pitch. Volume is the loudness or softness of the voice, while rate is the speed of the voice. And lastly, loudness is synonymous to the word volume. Number 95. The correct answer is A, civic. Palindrome is a word that can be read the same if spelled in reverse. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 96, the correct answer is letter A, imitative. Extensive, monologues and oral reports. Interactive, face-to-face interaction and problem-solving tasks. Responsive, question and answer tasks. Number 97, the correct answer is letter B, agree. The intensive form occurs differently after the word it modifies or at the end of the clause. The mayor herself distributed the relief goods. The mayor distributed the relief goods herself. Even when it is left out from the sentence, the essential meaning will not be affected and will remain the same. Number 98. The correct answer is letter A, plosives. Plosive stops are consonant sounds produced by stopping the airflow using lips, teeth, or palate, followed by a sudden release of air. Fricatives. Two articulations are brought near each other such that flow of air is impeded but not completely blocked. The airflow through the narrow opening creates friction, hence the term fricative. Affricate. Articulations corresponding to affricates are those that begin like stops with a complete closure in the vocal tract, and they end like fricatives, with narrow opening in the vocal tract, because affricates can be described as a stop plus a fricative. Some phonemic alphabet transcribe s as sh, sh as j. Bilabial is a classification of consonant sounds according to a place of articulation. Number 99, the correct answer is letter D, commuters. Bound morphemes are classified into inflectional or derivational morpheme. Inflectional morpheme is a morpheme added into another morpheme for grammatical purpose, and therefore does not change the classification of a word as to what part of speech it belongs, while derivational morpheme are morphemes that when added to another morpheme changes the classification of a word as to what part of speech it belongs. Example, act plus verb plus ion or derivational morpheme is equals to action, which is a noun, or what is known now as a noun. We only have 8 inflectional morphemes in English. S as third person singular, ed past tense, ing progressive, en past participle, S, plural, S, possessive, ER, comparative, EST, superlative. Number 100. The correct answer is letter D, prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrases is modifying phrase consisting of preposition and its object. Prepositions are words like in and out, above and below, and to and from, and they are words we use oftentimes. Example, the birds in the aviary flow into the trees.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 101. The correct answer is D, spelling. Discrete item or discrete point tests are tests which test one element of language at a time. Example of these tests are multiple choice, phoneme discrimination, spelling, etc. The three options are example of integrative tests which test more than one element of language at a time. Number 102. The correct answer is D, interactive. Extensive speaking tasks are characterized by lengthy and complex discourses in doing oral presentations such as reports, proposals, sales idea, new product, etc. that requires a solid presentation. Intensive tasks, on the other hand, use cues to elicit oral language performance by producing short stretches of language such as telling a story or event or by reading aloud. Responsive tasks, on the other hand, involve short interactions using question and answer method to produce meaningful language responses. And lastly, interactive tasks include tasks of longer discourses such as interviews, role plays, discussions, games, speeches, extended explanations, etc. that allow teachers to know the student's ability in producing detailed discussions. Number 103. The correct answer is B. Look at those pictures hanging on the wall. A prototypical sentence is a type of sentence in which the verb comes first in the sentence. So in this case, the word look comes first in the sentence. Number 104. Number 104. The correct answer is C, morphology. Morphology is the study of the word formation that usually deals with the analysis of the affixes in word formation. Number 105, B, pronunciation accuracy. So the main goal here of audiolingual method is oral proficiency, which means it is more on pronunciation accuracy rather than communicative competence, which is the focus of CLT. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 106. The correct answer is letter B, schema. Linguists, cognitive psychologists, and psycholinguists have used the concept of a schema to understand the interaction of key factors affecting the comprehension process. Simply put, schema theory states that all knowledge is organized into units. Within these units of knowledge, or a schemata, is stored information. A schema, then, is a generalized description or a conceptual system for understanding knowledge, how knowledge is represented, and how it is used. Number 107, the correct answer is letter D, target situation analysis. ESP has only three analyses: target situation, present situation, and pedagogic analysis. Number 108, the correct answer is letter C, indent four spaces. Number 109, the correct answer is letter D, Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the oldest Indo-European language for which substantial written documentation exists. Sanskrit holds a prominent position in Indo-European studies. Number 110. The correct answer is letter C, comparative and superlative. There are 8 inflectional morphemes: S, third person singular; ed, past tense; ing, progressive; en, past participle; s, plural; apostrophe s, possessive; er, comparative; est, superlative.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 111. The correct answer is D, journal writing. Role play and pantomime are not the correct answer because they are all performances, while brainstorming is done for the purpose of choosing the topic in any writing or speaking task. It does not necessarily record experiences in a regular basis, like journal writing. Number 112. The correct answer is C, action. Action research deals with classroom problems and usually tries to solve the immediate problems. Number 113. The correct answer is D, emigrate/immigrate. Emigrate and immigrate are words which meaning depends on the perspective. Emigrate is from the point of view of the departure, think exit, while immigrate is from the point of view of the destination, think come in. In other words, emigrate is to immigrate as go is to come. Number 114, the correct answer is A, wrote. A marked one is one which is not typical, common, or regular form. The unmarked one is the opposite. It is the typical, common, or regular form. The unmarked or regular form of the simple past ends in ed. Options B, C, and D are incorrect. B is a third-person singular present tense form. C and D are regular simple past form, thus unmarked. Number 115. The correct answer is D, off. To put across means to succeed in describing or explaining something. To put away means to place something where it is normally placed when not in use, while to put out is to make fire, candle, or other things stop burning. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 116, the correct answer is letter A, object complement. An object complement has the same reference as the direct object, which in this item is mau mau. Option C is incorrect. There is no indirect object in the sentence. The indirect object has a different reference from the direct object. It serves as the recipient or beneficiary of the direct object. Option D is incorrect. An appositive may have the same reference as the noun before it. However, its function is to clarify the meaning of the noun. If the appositive occurs in the sentence medial position, it is bounded by commas before and after. Number 117. The correct answer is letter C, the building blocks of language. It is because the structuralist view of a language justifies a teaching syllabus that revolves around the building blocks of language. Letter D is the answer because it involves a structuralist and functionalist view of language. Number 118. The correct answer is letter D, performance variables. Performance variables refers to fillers, hesitation, and pauses. Number 119. The correct answer is letter A, situational. Types of syllabus. First one is situational, a collection of real or imaginary situations in which language occurs or is used. Skill-based, collection of specific abilities that may play a part in using a language. Notional functional, collections of functions when language is used like informing, agreeing, and apologizing. Content-based. Purpose is to teach some content or information using the language that the students are all learning. Number 120, the correct answer is letter D. It is a specification of the content of a course of instruction listing what is to be taught and tested. Letter D defines a syllabus rather than a curriculum. A syllabus is more specific and refers to a plane in a particular course in the curriculum. On the other hand, the curriculum is more broad and encompassing.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
Number 121. The correct answer is B, needs of learner. Curriculum planners consider learner needs as a primary consideration in curriculum or course design. 122. The correct answer is D, testing creates different learning groups. Although results of tests allow the teacher to identify the different abilities of the students, it is not a primary concern of testing. A, B, and C are primary goals of assessment. 123. The correct answer is D, diagnostic. Achievement tests measure how satisfactorily the students are meeting course objectives, while proficiency tests refer to how sufficient a student's command of language is for a particular purpose. Placement tests, on the other hand, are given to place a student in a grade or level in a program. And lastly, diagnostic tests are designed to measure students' weaknesses. Number 124. The correct answer is C, test. A, B, and D are all processes involved in arriving at a reliable and valid judgment of a student's abilities and knowledge. C is the correct answer because the test is one tool a teacher can use to measure, assess, and evaluate a student performance. Number 125. The correct answer is D. Testing provides tangible reasons for pedagogic changes. The results of the tests allow a teacher to change his or her techniques and strategies inside the classroom. Here's a trivia. Are you aware?
Number 126, the correct answer is letter C, conducting a text analysis of the specific text types. Explicit teaching of various written genres of text types entails a textual analysis of their language features. Such activity helps struggling writers to be aware of the recurrent patterns and use those as they write the specific text types. Number 127. The correct answer is letter B, thoroughly assesses and evaluates students. Before going through remediation, students need to go through a needs analysis phase where their skills are thoroughly assessed and evaluated. Number 128. The correct answer is letter C. Their abilities fall several levels below their current level. Remedial students demonstrate abilities several levels below their current level. Many of them are not able to cope with the demands of the present level because they have a few internalized strategies. Number 129, the correct answer is letter C, to help students cope with the demands of their actual level. Remedial instruction in English trains students of the necessary knowledge, skills, and attitudes for them to meet the demands of their actual level. That is the primary goal. D is more of the result of a successful remedial program. Number 130. The correct answer is letter B, more challenging texts and tasks. Remedial learners need more attention in order to understand the lesson. Making more challenging texts and tasks would only give them a harder time. That one must be for high-achieving learners.
Let's get some trivia. Did you know?
131. The correct answer is C. Class size gets smaller. Since there must be attention to the learners more, the class size should get smaller. Ideally, there must be 3 to 10 students in a remedial class.